And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They'll run with Elliott. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 31-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. On 2nd down, it's Elliott, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The extra point up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go. At their own 19-yard line. Wait, set. Round 80. Round 80. It's going to be a long day. That's going to be... Hey, 16-kick.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now Brady. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Give him 18 there, and the Giants have a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Wait, set. 53. 59. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
A first down carry for Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 38-yard line. Wait, set. 29. Alpha. Here we go. Here we go. Alpha.
On 2nd and 12, Brady is going to let one fly for Tate. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Here we go. You don't want nothing, baby. You don't want nothing. Hey, you don't want anything.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Blake Jarwin, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing. Prescott. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle.
2nd and 10 at that 18-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Brady. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Jalen Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
2nd and 6 at the 23-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Slam.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Ready. I don't even know why this team showed up. Hey, Delta.
Mike 55. 3
Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And Tate's got it. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Wait, that wide 20. Watch 55. We ain't giving up nothing today. Check and reload.
Brady now on 1st down. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Hey, Alabama.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Throwing now is Brady. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Brady's pass intended for Darius Slayton. Incomplete. Results in a 4th down.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. $17-0 our score after 1. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Prescott yet again. Going up top. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To the air again, Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now Saquon Barkley. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. The Giants on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Rip. Mike, check, 59. Hey, Foxtrot. 59's Mike, check, 59.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula's not working right now. They start on the ground with Elliott. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Prescott down. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he's going to get this inside the 30. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Point after, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
It's been a long day for you.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Elliott. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Blake Jarwin with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle. And the rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start? And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
All day, all day.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Brady now to throw. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Arm it.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Second down, Kaiser. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Wait, that 380. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. He's tired of me. Sugar.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe
it's caught inside the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Aldrich Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Rosas' kick is good. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Point after, right down the middle. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A first down carry for Barkley won't lead to much as he'll take this forward for maybe a yard. It's second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd and 9, Brady throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams and the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Twisting away, runs through the contact.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check my 47. Watch the slant.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. His throw incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice. Or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Prescott. This to Jarwin. It's a gain of 16 and a Dallas 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Prescott. Cooper's got him. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Elliott. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 6. That's going to be caught. The end result, 21 yards.
First and goal, Dallas.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Now here's Pollard, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Tony Pollard, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over. The back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ready? Strike! Right there. 54 Mike. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Kneel. Slam.
Now the backup Kaiser to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
On third down, Kaiser. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language. Hands
on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, his second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The toss out to Barkley. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Tackle made that time by Christian Sam. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
53, Mike 53. Quit talking about it.
The first carry for Elijah McGuire. And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Giants on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. Now Jones. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Kaiser. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Kirksey in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long.
Switch.
They'll throw here. Kaiser. And he's going to go down again. Christian Kirksey able to record his 5th sack of the season. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
65, 65, 65.
On second down, here's Barkley. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
The 16-yard line.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 17. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Throwing Jones. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
And the Giants send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken at the 46. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
I'm coming for you. You mine. Watch that. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Get it.
And they take a knee. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Hey. 4 down.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback keeps it. A loss of a yard. Brings up 4th down.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, You just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Dallas, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.